Otis. So every day I had a goal, and my goal was to get out so that my mom can look back and smile at what I have accomplished because of what she's instilled in me.
Was that like, I'm thinking about that, you being, what, 12, 13, recognizing this. Did you ever see that as like, man, this is just a lot on me right
It
now?
is, but what I learned is this. One or two things going to happen. You're going to be a product of your environment, or you're going to make your environment a product of you.
That's heavy, that. Absolutely.
I chose to make my environment a product of me, bro. I chose
You
to
also
make my
did
environment a
something
product of me.
that I thought was unique, and I don't see this as much. You talked about it earlier, community. So I saw when your family transitioned out of Youngstown and went to basically an all white
White
type
school.
of community, white school
Toronto,
at
Ohio.
Toronto,
Yes, sir.
and you found yourself really almost starting over again. You gotta relearn, you gotta rededicate, recommit. But I saw what you talked about, how it was a struggle for you, but there was this one person who helped you see you. Talk about that.
Man, it was Mr. Wilson, man. He was a principal. And then I had Miss Buckham. They didn't see a little black kid. They saw a young kid struggling. I thought everybody else saw me as this stuttering little black kid. I went from an all black school to an all white school. And I stood out like a sore thumb, man. For me to be able to day in and day out, man, right foot, left foot, breathe, and know that I can be whatever I put my mind to. You know, Sidney Poitier, who's one of my favorite actors, was one of my favorite actors, still one of my favorite actors. He said this when he came over to America. He didn't want to just be seen as a black man. He wanted to be seen as a man. He didn't want to be recognized as a black actor. He wanted to be recognized as an actor who just happens to be black. And so me going to Toronto, it was actually good for me because I learned how to navigate in an environment that I wasn't used to. I wasn't used to being the only black kid. I was used to not seeing a bunch of white kids. And now I had to be confident in myself enough to say, I will do this, I won't do that. And then my mom made me realize no matter what I do, I have to do it 100 times better just to be seen as average. That stuck to me because I'm like, they're doing it just like me. It doesn't matter, baby. It doesn't matter. If you want to be up here, okay. So they jumping 6'2", all right, I'm going to jump 7 feet. I had to do that. I had to do that to get to where I'm at. Oh, even in this movie industry, I always say this: there are no small roads, man. There are no small roads. There are only roads that lead to the next one. So if I get in the role and I say 2 lines, guess what? I won. If I say 1 line, I won because I'm getting closer to what I'm trying to achieve, because it's not about the roles for me. It's about the journey to my purpose. And my purpose is to show people with God on your side, you can do anything but give up.
Share with our audience, man, because I've been there. When you're that only black face, sometimes you got all the black answers, or you gotta, it's like this extra pressure of like being black. Like, I'm already black, now you're gonna put pressure on me to be black. Talk about that growing up there, because I agree with you. I do think there's elements that getting in that new environment, it helps you grow, it builds you stronger, it opens your eyes up to a world outside of where you just came from. But it also brings its own issues of this side of it. But talk about being that only black student. I know you talked about, things you have to do a little bit more tougher, but sometimes I think it's a little bit deeper than that, because you sit in the classroom and it's Black History Month and, everybody looking at you like, what you got to say? You know what I mean? Talk a little bit about being that student.
What's crazy, and My mom always encouraged us and made us realize that people will only view you the way you view yourself. People only view you the way you view yourself. So if I viewed myself as, oh, I gotta be this, nah, I gotta be me. I've always marched to my own beat, probably because of the stutter, man. The stutter made me so resilient to life because I didn't look at it as a handicap. My mom would never let me view myself as having a speech impediment. She was like, nah, you just got to take longer to get your point across, but you're normal. And so once I realized that I was created to be authentically me, I never felt the pressure to try to be something I wasn't. I don't need to do what y'all think I need to do to fit in with y'all. Because if y'all think I need to do something, guess what? You're not my crew. If I can't be authentically me, you're not the person for me. And that's what I've learned. And I'm even learning that now, even with relationships. Like if that person don't know how to love you, who you are, the way you are, guess what? They don't deserve you in their life. And that's how I felt growing up with my friends. If I gotta sag my pants more, if I gotta wear my hat a certain way, if I gotta this, if I gotta do that, just so I can get a black card, I'm already black. I'm black every day. I've been black ever since I opened my eyes on this earth. And I'm gonna be black until I close my eyes. And black is my magic. We magical. And I'm not gonna take that away. And I'm not gonna take away from me. And so many people are taken away from themselves because they're trying to be something they're not. I've done that before. I did it when I got to Ohio State. I went from playing a 6'5" postman to now having to become a guard. And it was a learning curve. And it was frustrating. But once I got over that learning curve, man, give me that rock.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Give me
I
that
saw
rock.
the highlights.
So I had to learn.
I saw the highlights. I saw what you could do.
Yeah, I had to learn.
I saw what your coach said about you. I want to shout this out too, man. Your mom. I keep hearing this. It was almost like at every moment, man, she had what to say to you, man. Talk about your mom and just how invaluable she has been in your life. Because I keep hearing this, my mom said, and, my mom told me, it's the mothers to me are our first window to the world. And she saw, man, your light. Talk about that.
Man, it's hard to talk about that without getting like emotional. Like to have somebody see what you couldn't see, to constantly never give up on you. When the world turns their back. When I was younger, she was the one saying, you're going to be okay. She was tough. She said some things that cut to the bone, but it made me better. My mom is I always call her my earthly angel, man. She's amazing, man. She's just one of those moms who loves on everybody. She had a bunch of kids, more than they're her biological kids. So she was special. And I have to be fair, man. My dad changed my life, when he got home. Because, my dad went away for a while. And when he came home, it was my freshman year at Ohio State. And it was rough, man. Coach I felt like he didn't like me, and I went there because of him, because it was a black coach. And I've never had a black coach before. And then I had a black coach in basketball and track. So I was like, that's a win-win situation for me. I want to be coached by a black man, and for me to experience what I've experienced, it was rough. And I remember I came home my freshman year, man, for Christmas break. And I walked in the house and I told my mom, I said, I'm not going back. And my dad had eased his way downstairs. And he was listening to my mom and I talk. All I heard was, hey. I was like, yeah, what up? He's like, let me talk to you. I'm still mad at my dad because he wasn't there when I needed him the most. He wasn't there when I thought I needed him the most. because at that moment, he took me upstairs. He like, so I heard you want to quit. I said, yeah. He was like, all right, okay. He said, I know I ain't been here. I know you mad. I know we don't have this great relationship right now. But I will tell you this. If you quit now, and if you allow that man to make you quit, you'll be quitting the rest of your life. And I've never seen you quit anything. So it's your decision. But if you quit, you only gonna be cheating yourself.